Falasha Harrison, welcome to Profile.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here.
You have a beautiful story, and I am so stoked that you've agreed to share it today. You are an author, and you have a new book that's coming out. It's called The Healing God Designed, a secret work for trauma recovery. That's coming out in a couple of days, as a matter of fact.
A couple of days.
You are a social entrepreneur. You are also Jamaican, born in Boston and grew up in Jamaica. And you have quite a story on that, so many different kind of fields. But I actually want to start with the name, because it's P. Falasha Harrison, and the P is, so it's Princess Falasha Yashimabit.
It's Princess Yashimabit Falasha I Harrison.
All right, and the I is the first.
The I is for the I, like I and I. Yes. Falasha I.
Explain the name first of all.
So my name is, both my parents were Rastas in the 70s when I was born. So Princess title. Yashimabit is Haile Selassie's mother's name. Falasha is a black Jews, lost tribe of Israel, right? And the I stands alone, Falasha I. And then Harrison, my surname, my father's last name. I'm
sure this is part of it you're going to be sharing with with the audience at Woman Elevate. You are one of the speakers there because you have such an extraordinary story. And that connection I want to start with is that connection first to your parents. And who raised you to begin with? You were raised by your grandparents.
Yes.
But the parents were Rastafarians. How is it that your grandparents were raising you? What happened?
So my parents were young. They were young parents, teens, and my grandmother in America, which was my maternal grandmother, she's busy.
So that's your mother's mother.
Very busy. And who was going to take care of the child, right? The child needs care. And my grandmother here in Jamaica, my father's mother, said, I'll take her, send her come. So one year I was on my way to Jamaica, unaware that I wasn't going back to America. And here I am. I've been my grandparents, my grandmother and my grandfather raised me in Jamaica, and my grandmother raised me when I was in the States. So I went to Boston every summer, almost every summer, with either my grandmother would come along with me and we'd fly together, or I would fly alone.
So so you had two completely different kinds of experiences, both being raised by the grandparents, also seeing your parents as well.
Yeah.
Also seeing your parents. So summer spent in Boston, you said, with your maternal grandmother, so that's your mother's mother and your cousins.
Yes.
And in Jamaica, with your father's mother, and two completely different experiences. Let's start by talking a little bit about the Jamaican experience, because you know what our grandparents are like. They're strict.
Yes.
And yours were.
Well, strict-ish, right? Because I was the grandchild and I was the only child. So the strictness was really primarily on education and learning. I remember my grandfather drilling me with the times tables at the back of the book, and your 3 times, 4 and drilling. My grandaunt, which was my grandfather's sister, she was an educator here in Jamaica, big time, and she taught me how to read, so I was able to read before a lot of other kids were in school. So yeah, I guess the discipline and the education was the primary focus in my household here growing up in Jamaica.
What was your grandmother like, the grandmother in Jamaica?
She's a very nice lady. No, she really was. She worked at University of West Indies. She was the director of public relations in the personnel department. She used to do classes after work sometimes to keep herself busy. And she used to travel before, believe it or not, she used to travel the world before she took me on, which was such a huge sacrifice for her to give that up to be able to raise me, so.
And you say in terms of what she was like as a professional, this was someone you saw pack up every day?
Briefcase, shoes in the bag, briefcase, suit, gone in the car, reversing out the garage, grandpa stopping everybody on the road to make sure
in the Barbican area of St. Andrew, by the way.
Road, right on Barbican, not far from Sovereign, right there, where the new plaza, that Progressive Plaza is now, right there. And my grandfather would stop traffic
In the middle of the morning?
In the middle of the morning. So if you were coming down Barbican Road, a part of the congestion was Mr. Harrison instructing Mrs. Harrison on how to reverse out of the driveway, which was very steep, by the way. So yeah, that was my morning routine, actually.
Your morning routine also included heading to school. Schools there, in this case, is St. Peter and Paul. That's on Old Hope Road in St. Andrew as well. What was that school environment like? School
was great. It was I always looked forward to school. That was something that I was extremely excited about. And I just always wanted to be there because that was my social group, right? I was at home as an only child. So my social circle was at school.
So this is the structure in Jamaica now. There is a structure in Boston, like when you head to Boston in the summers.
In the summer, it's free for all. It's free for all. We're all in the house, all my cousins. We might cook. Somebody might have cooked. Somebody might not have cooked. We're ordering food. We're outside playing, riding bicycles. Every summer, we would go to like Six Flags or Canopy Lake, an amusement park, as a family together. But it was less structured. It was more just free for all. Everyone did whatever they wanted to do. Of course, my grandmother, we weren't like breaking rules or doing anything outside of what our age range should be doing. Be prepared for dinner and turn off the TV. We're eating dinner now. Where's your knife? Where's your fork? That wasn't happening there. That was
the experience in Jamaica.
That was the experience in Jamaica, yes. So learning how to switch, right? Switch it out, adapt, very early adaptability. Because, the first time I went back to America, I was like, where's the knife and fork? And they're looking at me like, girl, if you don't go grab one of the spoons in the kitchen or something and leave me alone and come eat. So it was definitely learning how to adapt very quickly.
I know, and adaptation is also a big part of your story because you have all of these different kind of experiences, one that's a little bit more structured in Jamaica and then one that's a little bit more free-flowing in the United States.
Yes.
And that also influences how you go through life and what happens to you as well. But to talk about that part of the story, we have to wait until after the break. We take our first break on Profile. My guest is author and social entrepreneur, P. Falasha Harrison. We're back with you after these messages.